Some of y'all did not grow up on the episode 100 Days from Stargate SG-1, and it shows. Now, it shows in many different ways, such as post-apocalyptic worlds and the way that we would interact as human beings, as well as the grief that comes from post-apocalyptic worlds. A lot of lessons that we can learn from this episode entails the following. First up is working with people we wouldn't normally work with. Many examples of Jack O'Neill working together with a villager who absolutely hated his guts. He not only helped him build his house, but then the guy and him also were just taking shots later, months later. The general human resilience that we experience. See two parts of this episode going on with the humans on Earth trying to figure out the solve to this problem, whereas the resilience of the people who did survive, people who are having weekly meals because they can't all afford to make individual meals, so instead they come more communal based and they work together to build each other's houses and rebuild something that's there, even though they have nothing. Last one, we learn a lot about grief. We learn a lot of grief through Sam's eyes on Earth as she is missing Jack and trying to work together to bring him back to Earth. Then we have Jack's grief, his grief of his life that he once knew that is completely gone from him, and he has to come to acceptance of it. And he learns this through the woman on the planet, don't remember her name, who had an experience of grief when she lost her late husband. And she teaches him how to let things go and experience life to its fullness. I think the problem that we are experiencing right now as humans, and why I believe this episode is so important, is there was a problem to be solved, and everybody worked together regardless of their individual personalities, behaviors, and maybe even social political differences to come to a conclusion that would resolve this problem. They needed to rebuild life, they needed to feed each other, they needed to create a better social community, and they worked together even though, Jack was having issues with the villager, and Jack was having his own personal issues he was trying to deal with. Those were all resolved by working together with people that he wouldn't have normally worked with at all. On Earth, we have Sam working all hours of the day and all hours of the night to make sure that she makes this particle laser that will shoot at the Stargate on the other side so that it breaks through the Naquita shield. If you've never seen Stargate, you wouldn't understand what I'm talking about, but it's very smart. Teal'c, once the shield is broken, he decides to volunteer to have 4 hours of air to drill through the ground, which is a thick layer of material, because he knows that's his area of expertise. And on the planet before this happened, Daniel goes into full research mode and starts finding out evidence through the sediments because he's an archaeologist and he's able to understand that this happens once every 150 years because everybody worked together and used their empathy for the same common solution. Our problem now, I have 3 seconds left, but our problem now is us not working together.